Have you ever done this? You open a news article, maybe something about the economy, maybe a political update, maybe a breaking story everyone is talking about, and after reading 2 paragraphs, boom, a giant pop-up fills the screen. Support independent journalism. Unlimited access for just $1 per week. Best value? Annual plan. And suddenly you're staring at 3 subscription options like you've accidentally wandered into a cable TV contract negotiation. Monthly, $12. Annual, $99. Save 40%. Special offer, $1 for the first year. And you think, well, that's actually not that bad. So you click the annual plan. You tell yourself it's responsible. You're supporting journalism. You're staying informed. You're basically becoming the kind of person who reads real news instead of random social media posts. And then, 11 months later, you get an email. Your annual subscription will renew tomorrow for $179. And suddenly, you realize you completely forgot you even subscribed. Honestly, I think about this stuff way too much. My name is Nick, and I spend an unreasonable amount of time thinking about money, psychology, and the tiny little decisions that quietly drain our bank accounts without us noticing. Because the weird thing about these news subscriptions isn't that they exist, it's how carefully they're designed. And once you see the patterns, the psychology, the pricing tricks, the timing, you start realizing something uncomfortable. You were never really choosing the annual plan. The annual plan was choosing you. So today, I want to show you how news websites quietly guide people into annual subscriptions, why those plans are so profitable, and how a few simple awareness tricks can stop you from falling into the trap. Because once you understand the system, it becomes surprisingly easy to step outside of it. Number 1, the paywall moment, where the trap begins. Everything starts with the paywall. You're reading an article, maybe you're halfway through, maybe you just finished the introduction, and suddenly the page fades out and a message appears. You've reached your free article limit. This moment is carefully engineered. You're already invested in the story. Your curiosity is activated. You want to know what happens next. It's the same psychological trick streaming services used when an episode ends on a cliffhanger. Your brain says, just finish the article. But here's the subtle part. You're not being asked to buy an article. You're being asked to buy a subscription. And subscriptions change how people think about spending. Instead of asking, is this article worth $2? You're suddenly asking, is journalism worth $1 a week? And of course, that feels like a reasonable trade. But that small shift from product to subscription is where the entire system begins. Number 2, the best value illusion. Once you reach the subscription page, something interesting happens. The pricing options are almost always structured like this. Monthly plan, $12. Annual plan, $99. Premium plan, $149. And right there, glowing in bright colors, is the annual plan. Best value. It might even say something like, save 45% compared to monthly. Now, here's the thing. That discount is technically real, but psychologically, it's doing something deeper. Your brain isn't comparing whether you need the subscription. Your brain is comparing which option feels smartest. So instead of asking, do I want to spend $99 today, you start asking, do I want to waste money on the monthly plan? And suddenly, the annual option feels responsible, practical, financially intelligent. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The annual plan is the one the company wants you to pick because it locks you in for a full year. Number 3, the forgetting effect. Companies know something about human behavior that most people underestimate. We forget. Not intentionally, just naturally. You sign up for the annual plan in April. By May, you've already stopped thinking about it. By July, you probably haven't visited the website once. By November, you might not even remember which email address you used. And then renewal day arrives, and suddenly $179 disappears from your bank account. This is called subscription fatigue, and businesses quietly depend on it. They know many people won't cancel, not because they love the service, but because they simply forget the renewal date. And when millions of subscribers forget, that turns into millions of dollars. Number 4, the introductory price trick. Another classic tactic is the introductory offer. You'll see something like only $1 per week for your first year, or even first year $20. And honestly, those deals can feel incredible. But here's what's happening behind the scenes. The company isn't trying to make money this year. They're trying to keep you long enough to reach year 2. Because once renewal hits, the price jumps. Suddenly, that $20 plan becomes $180. And many people don't notice the change until the charge happens. Why? Because that original purchase happened months ago. Your brain filed it away as a one-time decision, but in reality, it was the start of an automatic cycle. Number 5, the support journalism emotional hook. This one is fascinating. News websites rarely frame subscriptions as purchases. They frame them as support. You'll see messages like, "Support independent journalism. Quality reporting requires readers like you." And honestly, that's not wrong. Journalism does cost money to produce, but the framing matters, because now the decision isn't just financial, it becomes moral. If you decline the subscription, it almost feels like you're letting journalism down. And when a decision becomes emotional, people stop analyzing the details. They click faster, they think less, and the annual plan suddenly feels like the right thing to do. Number 6, the cancellation maze. Now let's talk about the part nobody notices until later. Canceling. Signing up takes about 30 seconds. Canceling can take significantly longer. Sometimes you need to log in, find the account page, navigate through settings, click Manage Subscription, confirm cancellation, then confirm it again, then maybe answer a survey. Why are you leaving? Would 50% off make you stay? What if we give you another year discount? This process is called friction design. The goal isn't to trap you permanently, it's simply to make canceling annoying enough that some people give up halfway. And even if only 5% of people stop trying, that's a massive amount of revenue. Number 7, the habit loop. The most powerful part of this system isn't pricing, it's habit. If a news site can get you to read it every morning, during coffee, during breakfast, during your commute, something interesting happens. Your brain begins associating the website with routine. Morning coffee, check news. Lunch break, scroll headlines. Before bed, one more article. Once a habit forms, the subscription stops feeling like a purchase. It becomes part of your daily life, and canceling feels oddly uncomfortable, even if you don't read it every day anymore. Conclusion. So when you step back and look at the entire system, something interesting becomes clear. News websites aren't just selling information, they're designing an experience, a series of tiny psychological nudges. The paywall appears exactly when your curiosity peaks. The annual plan looks like the smartest option. The introductory price feels harmless. The renewal happens long after you've forgotten about it. And none of these tricks are particularly dramatic on their own. But together, they quietly guide millions of people toward the same outcome, an annual subscription they didn't fully think through. Now, this doesn't mean news subscriptions are bad. Good journalism matters. Investigative reporting matters more today than ever before. But there's a difference between consciously supporting something you value and accidentally paying for something you forgot about. And once you understand the psychology behind these systems, something interesting happens. You start noticing the patterns everywhere. Streaming services, fitness apps, software tools, online learning platforms, even grocery delivery services. The modern internet runs on subscriptions, which means companies are constantly experimenting with ways to make those subscriptions feel effortless to start and slightly harder to stop. but awareness changes the equation. Because when you hit a paywall now, you might pause for a second. You might ask yourself a simple question: do I actually want this for a full year? Not, is this the best value? Not, am I saving money? Just that one honest question. And sometimes the answer will still be yes, but other times you'll close the tab, make another cup of coffee, and move on with your day. And honestly, those tiny moments of awareness, those small decisions where you pause instead of automatically clicking, are often the difference between quietly losing money and staying completely in control of it. Not through complicated budgeting systems, not through extreme frugality, just through understanding how the game works and choosing calmly and intentionally when you want to play it. Thanks for watching our video. Like and subscribe our channel for more informative videos. Don't forget to press the bell icon and get notification of new uploaded videos.